At the moment, farmers in Wales are split with regards to staying or leaving the EU. What are the benefits of remaining part of the EU?
Well, I think that farmers understand that it is very important to be able to trade with countries in respect of the products that they produce. We have very high quality sheep and lamb and beef products here in Wales, and of course they have to have a market. 92% of sheep meat is exported to the European Union, 93% of their beef is exported to the European Union. And of course they do get some financial support from the European Union through the Common Agricultural Policy. £6.50 out of every £10 is the source of a farmer's income at the moment. Now we have some difficult times in some of our commodities at the moment, and everybody understands that, but I think we can work together over the next couple of years. We can resolve some of those issues. And of course farmers have certainty and stability in relation to their income for the next 4 years from the Common Agricultural Policy. There's no guarantee they're going to get the same support from the Treasury.
What can we expect after the 4 years?
Well, we have to review our Common Agricultural Policies in 2020. And in the meantime, I will be trying to simplify the Common Agricultural Policy, try to make it easier for the farmer, trying to reduce the regulations, which I'm doing, and support the commodities that are under pressure, particularly dairy and particularly pig meat. So these are the opportunities that we have to work with in terms of giving not just financial support, but market support and trading opportunities. If we leave the European Union, the United Kingdom and Wales, you will have to renegotiate all your trade agreements with the 27 other member states of the European Union and the 53 free trade agreements that are already made. They take a long time, and I think it's important that farmers realise that if they want to have a market outlet for their very good quality product.
You talk about simplifying the bureaucracy. Well, what steps are you hoping to take to fulfil this?
Well, first of all, I'm trying to take the climate of fear out of inspections for farmers when they make application for their payments. And we're bringing in new systems for preventing preliminary checks in relation to their applications. We have a new yellow card system which will reduce the penalties for a minor offence and actually reducing the on-the-spot checks that farmers have to endure. And I'd like to see just one inspection carried out on farms for all the various schemes rather than just 3 or 4 inspections. So there is an onerous inspection regime at the moment that I'm seeking to moderate and to reduce the climate of fear for those particular inspections for farmers. And I'm reducing the number of regulations from 200 to 40 for the agribusiness sector.
You do allow some flexibility for the regional states to make decisions in some aspects of the Common Agricultural Policy. Are you thinking of managing these regions?
Well, it's not a one-size-fits-all Common Agricultural Policy because various regions of the European Union have different priorities. So we give flexibility to the member states and to the regions to be able to do things themselves, provided that there is good sound financial management of the European taxpayers' money. But I will be monitoring what the regions are doing and what member states are doing to make sure that the simplification agenda in particular, to the benefit of the farmer, is being implemented.
The industry is facing quite a dismal time at the moment. If we did choose the Brexit option, could things get any worse?
We've had difficulties before, in 2007 and 2008 and 2009 when we had milk quotas, for example, and people felt that because of the abolition of milk quotas that this is why we're having difficulties in the dairy sector. There is a global overproduction in the European Union, United States and around the world in terms of dairy products. So we have to manage demand and supply. We have to try and find more markets for the European Union products, which I'm glad to say that we are finding them in the Far East in particular. There's been a 13% increase in agri-exports in the first 2 months of this year. So we have to do more. And in the meantime, I have to find ways through the legislation and financial support to cushion farmers in some way through the worst effects of this income crisis. And I would ask financial institutions to continue the work that they're doing with farmers in order to make sure that they stay in business through 2016, which is going to be a difficult year.
What kind of cushion can we expect?
Well, we're already giving a good cushion in terms of income support from the solidarity package that I announced last September, which has been implemented, of course, already in Wales. But we have already introduced legislation to try and moderate production of milk, for example, but that needs financial support through state aids, and it's a matter for the Welsh Government and the UK Government if they wish to take part in this particular new policy initiatives. But we'll continue to monitor the situation. It's very difficult. We're not underestimating the difficulties in any particular way, and we are there in as far as we can within the finite resources at our disposal to be able to help farmers through this difficult year.
If the UK chose the Brexit option, could we still trade within the European market? And would it be a free trade or would we have to pay hefty tariffs for it?
There's nothing free, and the single market, like Norway and Switzerland, has to be paid for. £105 per head is what the Norwegians pay for access to the single market, and they have no influence, and they have to comply with the same EU regulations that we have now. £155 per head is what the UK pays at the moment, but they have their feet under the table. They have a negotiating power, and they're able to influence the outcome of any of these policies. So I think these are the reasons that people will think long and hard in terms of what they must do. But it's my job to give the facts about what happens at the moment. Of course, it's a matter for the people of Wales to decide whether they want to be in or out. But you cannot have an a la carte common agricultural policy. You're either in or you're out.